Right behind me is this W205 C Class, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can add ambient lighting throughout the car. Now that involves your center dash, door trims, door cards, speaker grills, underneath your seat, in your footwell, the driver's side AC vent, the passenger side AC vent, the dash trim on the passenger side, as well as the rear AC vents. Now Arcade is one of the only one in the market that doesn't require you to do any of the splicing into the wiring. It's very straightforward, very easy. It's very simple for your 2-door, 4-door, GLC, C Class, all of them, they're pretty much identical. Now in this process I'm going to show you how you can take everything out, what parts you need to take out, and how you can install full ambient lighting throughout the car. So let's get started into another episode of DIY Made Easy. Now in terms of disassembly, this whole center dash bit needs to come out. All these AC vents are going to pop out. The top screen needs to come out in order to remove this dash silver trim around here. Now along with that, we'll also remove the AC vents on either side, as well as the glove box on this side to do all of footwell lighting. This side trim needs to come out so we can pull the carpet back, plug in our Canbus. Door cards, all of the door cards are going to come off. Now I'm going to show you they're very easy door cards to remove. First thing we're going to do is starting to disassemble this whole dash console. Now removing this whole centerpiece is very easy. Just pop out this cover from top, revealing the two Torx 20 that you have to undo. Undo those two Torx 20, the thing will lift up. Once it's lift up, you've got 3 connections underneath on here. Then you can follow that by removing this L-shaped cigarette lighter socket, as well as at the same time the other 2 clips that goes behind the top part of the dash trim, and the whole one big piece will come out. Now for the next part, we're going to remove this radio by just undoing these 2 Torx 20. The whole radio will slide out of place. Undo all the connections from behind. This one having the aftermarket screen, it does have an external harness. In your case, it may or may not be connected straight into your factory harness. Now in order to remove the screen, you just pop these 2 covers at the back and remove these 2 screws, these Phillips head screws that we installed during the installation. Now after you remove those 2 screws from the back, then you have these 4 plugs at the back that you can undo, put the screen on the side, and then I'll show you how you can remove the bracket. It's quite simple. You just need to pop this grill out from top. Now be very careful when popping this grill, as they sit and grill in the sun. They sit and bake in the sun. It's very easy to crack them, so you want to go clip by clip. There's altogether 6 clips, 1, 2, 3 on this side, and 1, 2, 3 on this side. So go 1 clip on each side so you don't put too much pressure on the other side and get a crack in there. 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, and third one there, all popped out. That can go away, and this will reveal 2 Torx 20 underneath these holes that will pop this whole trim out. After that, we can just undo this part here, just pry it out, it will pop out. Now once you have this dash trim out, harvest all of these clips, the metal clips, pry it out and keep it on the side, as you're going to reinstall it into the new dash trim that we're going to mount in here with the LED lights. Next part, we're going to remove the AC vents from the left and the right side. Now in order to do that, I like to use a tool with a hook end at the end. If you look closely on the inside of your AC vent, find this small little hole where you can put in your hook tool. So once you push it in, you want to get it in nice and tight. Give it a good wiggle once it's in. Now why we like to use a hook tool compared to any other shaped tool is because this one here can lock in place, and when you pull it out, it doesn't damage anything around, it just pulls the whole thing out. Just repeat the same process on the other side with the AC vent. Pops out, nice and easy. Now once you got both of your AC vents out, when we're mounting the new one in, we're going to dismantle this and use the top fascia, the black gloss plastic thing from here to go onto the new one. So we have to transplant it, so keep it on the side. Make sure you don't mix the left and the right with the middle. The left and the right are bigger in size and the middle ones are smaller. And now in terms of removing the rear one, is quite easy. You just undo these 2 Torx 20 around here. Once you undo these 2, this whole panel lifts up, and this one you can pry it on an angle, just pull it up, the whole unit comes out. Now if your car is a 63 variant, it's going to have a connection there. For the non-63 variant, you don't have to worry about any connections behind here. Next in the line is this glove box here. There's only 3 Torx 20 here, so 1, 2, and 3. There's 1 underneath for the bottom cover, and there's 1 holding onto the glove box, and the last one is 1 onto the side here. Just undo all of those Torx 20 and this thing will just slide out of place. There's a couple of connections behind that you have to undo depending on if you got the air fragrance. If you have the air fragrance system, then you would have to undo 2 more clips on this side and the duct for your scented AC cooling. In this case, none of that is there, so we can just go ahead and undo all of the screws. Pop this out, put it to the side, and remove this side trim here. It's only on clips, so you can just lift it from one side, can come away. There's a guiding pin there that pops out. All of this can be put to the side. Now that is pretty much everything for the disassembly inside the car. Now for the next bit, what we're gonna do is start with the back doors. They're the easiest one to undo and redo. There's only 2 screws in here. I think they're Torx 30 or 35. One goes straight in here, one goes here, and the rest of the door is just on clip. So you can unclip that, unplug all the cables from behind here. Once you undo all of the cables and plugs from behind, including the door lock, you can take this door card out, and I'll show you how easy it is to replace that speaker grill. That's the first door cut out. Now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So I'll show you how to do one door at the back, one door at the front. The exact same steps will be repeated for the left and or the right doors. Now when you remove this, you have to remove this lock mechanism. It just pops out in place. 2 of the clips from your speakers and your main driver, and 2 main power plugs from the actual door module. Undo all of that, and the whole thing is just clips. It all pops out. And let me show you what we have to do at the door. Now on the actual door itself, remove all of this insulation. This will reveal all the original ambient light mounting points. Now you can see right here, this car already has all the acrylic. If your car doesn't have the acrylic, you have to run the acrylic tubes. Now in this case, we're only gonna show you how to do the ones with the acrylic. It's not that hard, just run 1 tube from there to there. Now the first thing we have to do is pop out all of the original ambient lighting. So just undo that plug, and that should be all for this door. Now you can go ahead and tape this up. What I like to do is just tape them away and out of the insulation so it doesn't rattle in the back end. And then to remove your door speakers, it's quite easy. It's just pressed into place. So you can get a soft pry tool underneath 3 mounting points. You can see 1, 2, 3. And now with the speaker out of the place, it will reveal the original speaker grill. Now you can see there's a few mounting points, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now what you can do is take a pick tool or anything that's small that can fit in, and pop this out of place. This whole thing will just pop out, and new one will just pop straight back into the original point. As you can see in the next clip, I'm just running the cables from inside the door card trim, and with that you'll also see there's an L mark on the speaker grills that's going to go on the left side of that car, and the R is for the right side. That way you have the symmetrical Burmeister logo onto the new one, or the Burmeister looking logo I should say, as it's not the actual logo itself. Now within the door, you can see what we have done here is just gone ahead and run that speaker grill. After that, put the speaker back on, remove the 2 other ambient lighting part comes in on the top part of the door card, undo that, plug in a new one from the kit, mount it to a module. This module, we're going to use some double sticky sided tape that's provided in the kit, mount it to the door card itself so it doesn't rattle, doesn't make any noise. Once all of that is done, your door card is ready to go back in. Just one more step before you put the door card back in is to undo the power plug from the door module, plug in our T-harness, and plug the original module part back in. This will give you the power to run into our new ambient lighting module when we're putting the door card back in. Now once that one is available, you can pretty much go ahead and put everything back in the exact same order as it came out. Now put the door card back on exactly the same way as it came out, put the 2 screws back in, and this door is done. And we're going to do the same exact thing on the other door in 3, 2, 1. And that's the driver's side door done. Now for the next part, we're going to move on to the front left door. Now the process is going to be identical on the front passenger as well as the driver door. So I'm just going to do one of them, show you how to do it. The door itself is pretty much identical. The only thing extra that I'm going to show you is how to do those tweeter covers. Once we're done with that part, I'll do the same on the driver's side, and with that all 4 doors would be complete. All right, so now that we're doing the front speaker, let me show you what's the extra bit that you have to do. So this is the original car tweeter that comes out. You can kind of get it out of the trim, a little bit harder with just one hand. And you'll see once this comes out, that's your speaker wires. So what you want to do is press this back in place. We're going to remove this whole set, and that's our new rotating 4D tweeters. Now on the 4D tweeters itself, there is a new speaker input. So you want to connect this yellow one that's coming out of the original tweeters to go into the new one. Now this is designed to go into the cars that doesn't have the factory tweeter, so you can actually do a T-harness of your main one into this one if your car didn't have the original tweeters. At least that way you'll have some sound coming out of it. Now you'll see there's an external power plug. What this will go to is there's a speaker cable, an extra cable coming out of your T-harness on the driver and the passenger side door. So when you plug in those harness, you can connect that kind of straight into here. The other end on here will go to the door module like the other doors, and the RGB cable here will go onto the module with the T-harness that comes in inside this box with the 4D tweeters themselves. And once you have all the wires connected, the door card can go back in the exact same way as it came out. As you can see, the other side is not done yet. So what I'm going to do in the next step is going to go ahead and do that in 3, 2, 1. And that's the passenger side door done as well. Now same thing that has happened on the driver and the passenger side. You can just follow the same process for either one. Now what we're going to be doing for the next bit here is to go ahead and do our AC vents. Now to do them is quite an easy. I'll show you how to do one. You can just follow the process, copy it onto all 5 at the front as well as the 2 at the back. Alright, so now that's the original AC vent. So what you want to do, you see these 2 silver tabs on top. When you turn it to the top side where it says top right here, you're going to poke it with a pick tool and pry this outer silver chrome trim out. One here comes out on one side. You can kind of use your fingernails to get it out. And once you have that bit out, this whole thing should slide out. There's only 2 clips holding this plastic trim that we need to put into the new AC vents. Once you have that out, take your new AC vent, mount it on in the exact same way, and same with the new chrome bit that will go on top. Once you've transplanted the black trim from there, you can take this new one and make sure that arrow is facing with the top. It matches right here. Go ahead and push that in place. It will click in with a nice solid click, and that will lock this trim in place. You can full new vent that we can mount our new LED light and just push it back into spot. Now the light strip that's gonna go onto the AC vent are these square ones. They have this 4 groove that will line up with the actual AC duct. Push it in place, that's ready to go back in. So do the same with all of the 5 at the front, and I'll show you in the next clip how to do the rear one. Alright, another thing you have to do when you're doing the center dash part is when you're removing the original AC vent, you can also go ahead and pop out all the original ambient lighting. There's 2 ambient lighting up top, 1 for your cup holder down here, and 2 from the bottom for this dash trim. And you can go ahead and replace that with the exact same one that we did in the door. These are light pieces that will pop onto the original acrylic all the way around. Put it all in place. Once they're all in, they will be connected to the main harness, which you're going to be running from the passenger side. This way it will save you a lot of time, since once you have undone all the AC vents up here, you will have more room to run the wiring neatly. Alright, so this is what we have done in the background. We have gone ahead and put the original AC vent back for the rear, run the cables from the side underneath, running here towards the front. Now in terms of the lights inside this cubby storage here, there's only 1 light strip here that will go on, and you can see at the back of our main center console unit, mounting 3 lights each associated with one of the AC vents. And there has been 2 lights here up top for the dash, 1 here for your cup holders, and another 2 for the dash to make it nice and even, very bright during the day, during the night time. Before we put this back on, we have to go ahead and put the screen back on. And before putting the screen back on, what I've also done is also gone ahead and put this trim, the silver trim, back in spot. If you remember, the other one slid out from here, just pried it out from the down here. The other one slides back into the same exact spot. The only thing is this one runs a new ambient lighting wire. Now what I'm going to do at this stage is go ahead and mount all of this thing back up. So my top cover, my screens and everything, the radio, all of that is going to go back in. And before putting the main center console, I'm going to run the T harness that will come up here, connect to all 3 of these lights from the AC vents, 1 on the right side, 1 on the left side. You can see they're clearly labeled on the actual individual packaging, and that will go here down in the corner. That's where my junction is going to be. The other harness that I'm going to run is for all the other lights, for my saddle, for my cup holder, for this cubby storage down here, and all of that. So I'm going to run everything in here, and finally after that we will do all the footwell lighting, plug everything back into the junction down there. After that we'll wire up the junction. I'll show you how to wire it up. It's very nice and easy. You do have a couple steps that you need to look for when you're mounting the junction. After that we can go ahead and put the whole car back together. So at this point, let me quickly go ahead and put all of this back in, connect all of my vent lights, connect this part here, put this whole center back together, and after that we'll move on to the footwell lights. Alright, so what I've done here is gone ahead and plug everything back in and put this whole part back together. There's no way you can confuse this. There's only one plug. Each of these LEDs are going into their relative female side. All the LEDs have male side and all of the ports have female side, so you just connect them together, something like this. You can't mess this up. It's the simplest thing ever. Now once all of that has been plugged in, I've run all of the wires there into the footwells at the front as well as underneath the seat, just running the wire along this carpet going underneath the seats. Same thing on the passenger side. Now before we do the final junction wiring, let me show you what wirings needs to be done. First one is your Canbus wiring. I'll show you where to plug in. There's a couple of different spots you have to try. One of them works depending on the variation of the car. Now the power for ambient lighting on this car can be on constant, which is this whole fuse box around here. The only reason why it can be on constant is because the whole light turns on from the Canbus signal. So even if you leave the car off and the center module is getting the power, it doesn't matter because the Canbus, it will cut the power, so it's not going to drain your battery. So now, very easy thing, it comes in with a fuse tab. So what you can do is use any of the free spots around here. You need to ground your wire somewhere. I like to usually ground it on that cable there. And finally is the Canbus wiring. So to get the Canbus wiring on the models from 2014 to 2019 is going to be under here. What I've done here for my first part of testing is connected it to the first Canbus line, which is this one right here. I've connected the other end to the module power and plugged it into the fuse box, as well as grounded the whole system. Now what we have to see in here is turn the car on and see if the lights come on. If not, we'll go through some settings on the phone that I'll show you in a second. And if the lights still don't come on, then we need to change the Canbus signal wire. As you can see, the car is turned on and none of the lights are coming on, but the speaker has popped out, which means it's just a Canbus setting that we have to configure. Now to configure that, you have to just scan this QR code that I'll pop on the screen now. Once you scan that QR code, there's a few dip switch settings that you have to change. And after you change some of these settings, one of them will work with your car system and give the module the right Canbus signal, and then you can control the whole thing with your car. So what I'm going to do at this stage is try all these different Canbus settings, and the ones that work, I'll let you guys know. So you can probably copy for a C250, and for other models where this configuration doesn't work, we'll link some of the configuration codes down below so you can try and see which one works for your car. Alright, so all that I had to do at this point was to just change my Canbus from the first row to the third row here. As mentioned, there are about 4 rows in this car, so the third one is the one that's working in this situation. Normally what I like to do is to set one dip switch, change all of the Canbus position to see which one is working. If none of them works, change the dip switch, try again. It's a bit of a hit and miss. It varies from car to car, year to year. Specific model all varies in terms of how the system works. It's a bit hard to know, it's not a one size fits all, but you can definitely get it done. Now what I have to do at this point is literally just go ahead and pack everything up. Once everything is all back to how it was from factory, everything, the glove box, bottom compartment, side piece, side trim, all of that will go back on, and I'll show you how you can control it from your original factory Mercedes menu. Alright, so what you guys want to do to change the light color is go onto the original car, press this vehicle button here. It will take you into the vehicle settings, click on that, and then wait for the settings to load up. Then you want to just swipe across until you find the ambient light color as well as the ambient light brightness. Now because this is all Canbus controlled, so you can still control it all using through your original screen. The original dial right here, they still continue to work. So if you see, you toggle through the settings here, although it's only showing 3 colors here. If you keep going round and round in the circle, in the wheel, you will have all 64 of your colors. You can also pair it up to your app using the QR code that I mentioned before. And we've covered every single part of the car, the footwell, all the AC vent, speaker grill, rotating speakers, the new speaker grill for the main section, buttons here, underneath the trim here, inside the door handle there. Even in the cup holders, we have not left any part, as well as this cubby store is very hard to see here at the daytime. But as you can see, throughout this install, it was nice and easy install. It's just very, very time consuming. I would give it a 5 or a 4.5 out of 10 in terms of hardness. However, in terms of time, you should spare at least 5 to 6 hours for this whole job, start to finish, if this is your first time. If you guys got any other questions regarding this whole install, please let us know in the comments down below. We are always happy to help. If you got one of our kits, we can also help you via FaceTime, WhatsApp video call, or any other way that you might need some help with installing one of our kits. I'll link it down in the description below. You can go ahead and buy this exact same kit and do your car in the exact same order. Just follow along, get your entire car done. This is compatible for the right-hand drive, for the left-hand drive. Any W205 or GLC is compatible. Just make sure you mention in the comments in the ordering section, because these rotating speakers are different for the GLC and the C Class. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!